if you live in Fort Bend County and you happen to possess a purple gun or had possessed at one time a purple gun, you probably will get a visit from law enforcement.
Yes. Hopefully you reported said gun lost or stolen. Hopefully stolen. We are the Arms Attorneys. Today we are talking to you about an extraordinary case in which a 10-year-old was arrested for firearm possession at a school. It happened right here locally in the greater Houston area. We're going to talk to you about the circumstances of the event, why it is so outrageous what the government has done, and finally, why you should be worried if you own a purple gun. But before we get started, show your support for the Second Amendment by hitting the like button, and welcome Edwin Walker.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's good to see you. Our dearest friend Richard is on one of his many luxurious vacations, and normally we film around those, but it was too luxurious this time. We couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be gone for, 10 days or so?
Must be nice to be Richard.
Yeah.
All right. But this is a case of interest particularly for Mr. Edwin Walker, as it involves one of the bright, shining pieces of his world, children.
Oh, of course. Yes. And of course, we always have to protect the children.
We do.
And we have to bend the knee to the children. Whatever's always in the best interest of the children. That's what we have to. Society must always only act within the best interest of the children.
Edwin has no children. I love the kids, but Edwin's viewpoint is a little bit different. So tell us what happened.
Well, it's very interesting because in this case, we have basically zero tolerance policy runs into how we treat disabled children. What are we going to do? So for those of you who may not be aware, I think there's actually been maybe some national news coverage of this.
Good.
Because it involves guns and children, of course. Well, a 10-year-old, 10-year-old. Now, why is 10 years significant in Texas criminal law?
That is the minimum age of criminal responsibility in the state of Texas. If this had happened at 9 years old, can't do nothing.
Nothing.
Can't do nothing about it.
Nothing.
10. The day he turned 10, he was subject to criminal prosecution.
Yes, the day he turned 10, he became a subject of the state.
Absolutely.
So
mens rea activated.
So 10 years old, this child who does in fact, he supposedly has some learning disabilities. In fact, the Fort Bend County Independent School District has determined he has a learning disability, sends him to a special disabled school. Well, on his way to school one day, he finds a gun-shaped object that is painted purple. Now, of course, being a curious child, he picks up this purple object, puts it in his backpack, and takes it to school.
Well, I think he puts it in his pencil case. So that tells you, not only is it bright purple, it's little.
Sure.
It's little. If it fits in a kid's pencil case, we are not talking about something that would give anyone the impression, probably, especially at 10 years old with a learning disability, that it is a real firearm.
Sure. Probably like a Glock 43 or something.
Little SIG P238s.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he picks it up, puts it in his pencil case, takes it to school. Other kids see it. And of course, in a very self-congratulatory manner, the school district says, thank God for our see something, say something policy, because the other children notified the authorities that this 10-year-old had, in fact, that purple object was in fact a firearm.
Yes.
And so, of course,
that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10-year-old doesn't need to be in possession of the firearm.
Correct.
But it was very congratulatory the way they...
Yes. Keep in mind, though, and we're not criticizing the confiscation of the firearm. We're criticizing what, of course, has happened to this child since then.
Yes.
They have basically pulled the entire weight of the state of Texas behind themselves and said that they will prosecute this kid as a juvenile to the fullest extent of the law. And there has been some outrage, some backlash.
It's a felony.
It is a felony.
You were going to slap a 10-year-old with a felony.
You're going to send him to juvie. Probably to TYC for this. And they, of course, the backlash has been this child has learning disabilities. He did not know it was a gun. He had never even seen a real gun in his life. To him, it was just a purple object, perhaps a toy. Maybe he had seen a toy gun before. But I think that the fact that it's purple is really playing into this. Also, turns out this child has dyslexia. And so I'm sure that he did not think it was a gun. Instead, he thought it was a nug. And of course, nobody has a problem with anybody taking a nug anywhere.
That gets me. Dude,
Yes.
call who's representing this kid. Call his lawyer.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta look. Buckle up, Buckaroo. I got a legal defense for you.
Yes.
He thought it was a nug. It's
Yes.
novel.
Yes. Well, and so this child's case is being pursued by one of Houston's local civil rights activists, Quanell the 10th, and he's already had a press conference about it. And the thing about it is that normally I think you and I would probably not find common ground with him, but we do
No.
on this issue, don't we?
We do. This is one of the few times my eyes do not roll so far in the back of my head they risk getting stuck when Quanell X opens his mouth on the news. One of the few moments. But I agree. This is an outrageous miscarriage of justice. And you mentioned this earlier, and this is really, I think, the major point, which is zero tolerance is not helping anyone.
No, zero tolerance is often used as an excuse to not use common sense.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and these are, I mean, at the end of the day, and this is the extreme example, but these are children. I mean, you remember we had that girl not too long ago who she just had the handgun. She was just a farm girl and she had the handgun in her car and someone saw it. Like she went from the farm to school, parked in the school parking lot. Handgun was left in the car because she had had it out on the farm. Some kid walked by and saw it and they prosecuted her for a felony,
Yeah.
which was, again, outrageous. Outrageous.
Yes, which also would like to point out that in the state of Texas, not illegal to have a gun in your car on a school parking lot.
That is true.
I've seen many police departments, many school districts want to bluster and make the presentation that it's illegal, but at the end of the day, not a violation of the law.
True. But it was visible, and so then they did actually find a charge to stick to
Right.
her. But
So, but all things being equal, it was the visibility of the gun, not the actual presence of the gun itself.
right. So, but we
Now-
do have a special message to anyone out there who might be missing a purple gun.
Well, and I want to make it clear to all of our viewers that we are very grateful that no person was injured during
yes.
the course of this. So the kid did not fire it. We don't know if there was one in the chamber. We don't know. They just keep saying
They say loaded. Yeah.
So we don't know if there was a magazine in it, but not one in the pipe. So we don't know if he even had the wherewithal to properly, act with it to discharge it. So, but we're very grateful that that didn't happen. But yes, I'm sure that right now as we speak, this gun is is being traced through the ATF's gun trace program, and the police will find who this gun was originally sold to. And so if you live in Fort Bend County and you happen to possess a purple gun or had possessed at one time a purple gun, you probably will get a visit from law enforcement.
Yes. Hopefully you reported said gun lost or stolen. Hopefully stolen, because I mean, let's say, hypothetically, Edwin Walker, let's say that you are trouncing through a field
In the middle of the night,
middle of the night, you're skipping, you're doing whatever you do in a field in the middle of the
you
night.
stumble,
You stumble,
the gun falls out of your pocket.
gun falls out. Well, kid finds it. What happened?
Well,
accident?
I know. And, and in a case that I am remembering from several years ago,
It's a real case.
a real case, Harris County District Attorney's Office prosecuted this individual to the fullest extent of the law. In fact, prosecuted him through 2 mistrials. So they tried this man 3 times for the crime of recklessly allowing a child to have access to his firearm.
Right, because he dropped it out of his pants pocket in a
Dropped
field,
it out of his pocket in the field.
and a kid found it. And the kid didn't. No one got hurt.
No one got hurt.
No one got hurt.
Nope. So I'm fairly confident that when we do find the owner of this purple gun, that unless they could say that they had sold that gun years ago and they have no idea where it was
Or I
on the
reported
day
it
of the trial,
stolen
or I
2 weeks
reported
ago.
it stolen 2 weeks ago, that they will in fact be prosecuted.
Yes.
Just as a side note, I know that this can probably be cut out, but usually I recommend people carrying purple guns in their car. You know why?
Then no one can lie on you.
That's right. So no one can lie on you, because I would say that in what, 90% of our road rage cases, the other side says that person pointed a black gun at me.
Mm-hmm. You'd be
Because,
right in my car.
yep, because most handguns are in fact black. If you carry a purple gun in your car, it really,
Yeah.
really disincentivizes the lying on you.
This is so real that I actually have a current client who, a couple weeks ago, he's out on bond, so he does not have a gun in his car, and some random guy accused him of flashing a gun, and then police got called. Police, and I mean, to my client's credit, he was like, search everything. And they searched him, they searched his truck, they said, wow, you don't have a gun. And he said, I know it. And they said, but why would he lie?
Exactly.
Really?
Yes. Famous phrase used by many prosecutors far and wide when questioning the veracity of their complaining witness. Why would they lie?
They got no reason
It's
to lie.
infuriated me
It is
for 30
infuriating.
years.
It's infuriated me for, you've been practicing law 30 years. You're not that old.
Yeah, I
Are you
am.
that old? Ugh. Well, it's
Amazing.
infuriated me for 12 years.
So, so at the end of the day, glad nobody was hurt because of this,
Yes.
but the reaction of prosecuting this 10-year-old in juvenile court, a total overreaction.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and help us fight that anti-2A algorithm that Richard always talks about by sharing this video. And let us know in the comments below, do you think that zero tolerance policies are good or bad? Until next time, we're the Arms Attorneys.